What did we discuss in the last class? Okay. Okay. This was the example, right, which we had discussed yesterday. The laptop object. Okay. Okay. For this particular example, I will. Okay. Let's take a new object. Okay. Let's suggest me some interesting object. Someone suggest me some interesting object. I'll create a class for that. Someone suggest me one interesting object. So that based upon that, I will decide the attributes, its behavior, and we can see how to create an object for that. I How animal is an object, Ra? Yes. How animal is an object? I hope so. You guys know what is an object. I need suggestions. I need interesting suggestions. I need some interesting suggestions. Don't give me same old examples. Give me some new example, new suggestions first. Give me a suggestion for an object so that I can create class members, a particular member for it. Okay. What Supriya is giving all the stationary examples. Okay, let us go with the chair. Okay. So what is our object? What is our object? What is the object we have considered? I hope so. The screen is visible. Okay. What attributes I can take? What attributes I can take? So I will say string type. Okay. String brand for the chair. Double price. So here, so in chairs, we can take. Okay. Let us take Nilkamal chairs. Okay. 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 With this, so basically, I will say brand and yeah, type is already there. So brand is there, type is there. So for brand, I will I will prefix the value. Excuse. So this becomes a this becomes a single line non-static initializer. This becomes a single line non-static initializer. So next step. States are used to set. So particularly this one is a instance initializer block. Okay. Basically, what is this? Initializer block. In instance initializer block, there is one speciality. Okay. For instance initializer block, there is no name, no return type, no arguments. There is nothing present for your instance initializer block. So we can, in short form, I can say IIB. Okay. So after this, okay, I will say public void share attributes, share specs, right? And I will say price. Okay. So after this, so here what happens? Here what happens? Let me create a driver class. Uh, I will say chair driver. So one thing I want everyone to reply here. So basically, this is a single line initializer, and this one is a uh, non-static variable. This is a non-static variable. Yes or no? And this is a non-static. This is what we call a non-static method. Yes or no? So so here, whenever I say mute share, so here I am using a constructor. Yes or no? Guys, guys, am I using a constructor here? Yes, no? We are writing a constructor. Yes. So, but there is one doubt, okay? But there is one doubt. Explicitly as a programmer, have I created any constructor here? Have I created any external or explicit constructor in this class? Even though there is no constructor in this class, is my program allowing me to use a constructor? Is my program allowing me to use a constructor? Yes or no? Even though I have not defined a constructor. So if so, let me write a note point. If a programmer fails to create a constructor, a default constructor, a default constructor gets added by the compiler. Okay, by default only, your computer adds away a default constructor. Okay, so here what I will say, chair one dot price is equals to 145. Chair one dot type is equals to plastic. Chair one dot chair attributes. In the same way, how to create another object? Chair. So chair two dot price is equals to 1,000 rupees. Chair two dot type is equals to gaming chair. Chair two dot chair attributes. So whenever I am executing this program, yeah, go. Just a second. Oh, sorry. It should have been main. So, see, one small mistake made me scratch my head. So, are we getting our output? Are we getting our output? See here, for every object, for every object, this line gets executed. Okay. For every object, your instance initializer block gets executed. Okay. And as this is a initializer, in every object this member is present, this one gets executed. And one more thing, carefully observe here. What I will do, I will say, so this is a static block. This is a static block. Observe about what happens to your static block. How many times is our static block getting executed? How many times is the static block getting executed? Only once. Static block executes for a class. Okay. For a class, it is always once. But but whenever it comes to non-static members, it executes for each and every object created. Okay. For each and every object, your non-static block gets executed. Got the difference between static block and non-static initializer block? Got the difference between the static initializer block and the non-static initializer block? Okay, okay. So I'll take one more example. I'll take one more example. So you will say student.java. So here I will say string name, comma, college underscore name, double percentage, name, college name, what I can go with, percentage, int, age, and uh, what shall we go with? Uh, class, not class. Let's keep simple. Okay, age and ID. Okay, ID. So age and ID, double percentage, college name. So here college name I will give it as uh, Java. Okay, I'll give it as Java. So next public void student details. So here I will say student details. So I will go with ID first, and I will say, and I will say name of the student. Uh, I will say, I will say age of the student. Next, uh, percentage, and finally college details. Sorry, not college details, college name, college name. Okay, even if your variable is lengthy, please have full names. Okay, don't give short names. Don't give shortened names. Okay, we are not texting or chatting here. Okay, as it is a programming thing, please give full names. Okay, so we have seen these examples. Yes or no? We have seen these examples. But sir, as a programmer, can I create constructor? Can we create constructor? Yes, I can create constructor. So basically what I will do, public, what is my class name? Constructor's name is same as the class name. Constructor's name is same as the class name. Only your access modifier will be there and next to the class name will be there. So this member we call it as constructor. Constructor. So is there any arguments for this constructor? Is there any arguments for this constructor? Do we see any arguments for this constructor? People, please reply. Is there any arguments we have passed? So if there are no arguments, then what name we will call it as? Then what will be the name of the member if there are no arguments? So if method has no arguments, it is a no argument method. In the same way, if constructor has no arguments, then it is called as. If a constructor is not at all having any arguments, then that constructor is called as. What do you call it as? What type of constructor? Simple. Yes. Hey, this is not default. Yo, this is not default. This is no constructor. This is no argument construct. Come on, this is not a method. This is not a method. This is only constructor. My darlings. This is only no argument constructor. Okay, method is different, constructor is different. Understood, my darlings? My Einsteins. Understood the difference? Okay, okay, fine. Okay, fine. Now, now, whenever I okay, let us create objects. Okay, let us create objects for student. Student driver. Okay. Here I will say student is equal to new student. Okay. There is one point. Okay. In constructors. Okay. In constructors, as a programmer, if you are defining a constructor inside the class explicitly, okay, if you are defining the constructor inside the class explicitly, then without any options, so depending on how you have created, as there is a no argument constructor here, here also your constructor must be no argumented constructor. Okay. Whenever you are explicitly defining, in the same way, you have to create the object. Understood? So if you have declared a no argument constructor in the source class, if you have declared a no argument constructor in the source class, then then in the driver class also your object should be having no argument constructor. Understood? Your parameters has to match, your arguments has to match. If there are no arguments there, here also it has to be no argumented constructor. Okay. So you guys might have one doubt, sir. Can I pass arguments here? While creating the object itself, can I pass arguments? So yes, for that you can do. For that you can do. So this is a initializer. This is a initializer. I have already given away the value. So here I will specify. Here I will specify double percentage int id int age. Just a second. Let me plug in my battery. Okay. So here I will say int id string name in int age comma double percentage. So here now now this constructor is it a no argument constructor or a parameterized constructor? Now this constructor, is it a no argument constructor or a parameterized constructor? Yes. Correct. I'll explain that. Okay, I'll explain that. So here to make your values local into the object, we will use this keyword. What we will use? We will use this keyword. Okay. I will explain how your this keyword works. Okay. Don't worry. This dot id, next is this dot name. It is not compulsory. You have to go with the order. Okay. Percentage. So whenever I am creating a parameterized constructor, whenever we are creating a parameterized constructor, here, here observe here, what is the error it is giving? Constructor student is undefined. Constructor student is what is undefined? A constructor student is not defined. So what you have to do, then compulsorily you have to pass your parameters here. We have to, not we can, we have to pass the parameters. So, what are the parameters? ID name, age double, ID name, age percentage. Okay. ID is, I will say 101. I will say name as Mary. ID name, ID name, age percentage. Okay. ID name, age, ID name, age will be 25 and percentage, let us give 85. Okay. So, student one dot student details. So when I execute this, observe here, is my values of student getting assigned? Is the values of student getting assigned? So the check, instead of assign, ಯಾಕೋ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಆಡ್ತಿದೆ ಇವತ್ತು. So instead of assigning the values like this in separate lines, instead of assigning the values separate like this, if you are having a parameterized constructor, if you're having a parameterized constructor, you can assign the values while you're creating itself. This is the advantage. Got the difference between parameterized constructor and no argument constructor? So the advantage of a parameterized constructor is while creating the object itself, you can pass the values. Okay. Okay. So some people might have some other doubt. Sir, can I have both no argument as well as no argument constructor in the same class? Can I create both? What do you guys think? Can we have both? Is it possible or not possible? Is it possible or not possible? People, please do respond, man. Don't sleep. Okay, it's just 7:40 now. Is it possible for us? Yes, it is possible. It is. It is. It is. It is possible. So you can have both the type of constructor. Sir, what is the advantage, sir? What is the advantage, sir? Sir, if I wish, if I wish to create a object, to create a object without passing the values, I can create the object. So you are getting multiple options here. If you are having the requirement to pass the parameters, we can pass the parameters and create the object. Or if you want to create an object without passing any values, then also you can do. You will get two options. You will get two options to create the object. See here, it is based on your requirement. You get multiple options to create the object. Understood? Understood? Any questions? You can have more than one constructor. You can have more than one constructor having uh, yeah, you can have more than one constructor inside the class. Okay. తడకలు ఉండ్రా ఒక సెకండ్ ఉండ్రా I'll explain రా. This key also I'll explain. This key I'll explain. Okay, don't worry about that. This key and your doubt I'll explain. Just wait for 5 minutes. Okay. Okay. So so sir, can I have few more constructors inside the class? can we have few more constructors inside the class? Yes. Yes, you can have. Okay. So you can have constructor with only ID name and age. You can have constructor with ID name and percentage. Okay. So here there are two members. There are two members with the same name but different arguments. Okay. There are two different members with the same name but different arguments. So this is we call it as constructor constructor overloading. What do we call it as, guys? What do we call it as? Constructor overloading. Okay. What is constructor overloading? It is one of the type of compile time polymorphism. What is the type of what is constructor overloading also called as? It is one of the type of polymorphism. Polymorph. Let me get the spelling. PHISM. PHISM. Okay. This is a compile time polymorphism. So you might be getting, sir, what is this compile time polymorphism? Polymorphism means one member, multiple states. Okay. So we have a constructor but with a different states. Here, whenever you are creating the object, see here, sir, I am creating a no argument constructor. Your compiler will go and check, do you have a no argument constructor? Do we have a no argument constructor? Yes, sir. So if it is matching, it allows you to create a object with no argument constructor. Do you have a parameterized constructor? It will go and check the class. Do you have a no parameterized constructor? So based on the type of member you are creating, your compiler will call a particular member. Okay. So polymorphism means one member, multiple states. So if you want a real-time example, a kind of, I am a I have a polymorphic name in this nation. Okay. So, how many famous celebrities you know who are there in my name, with my name, Rahul? There are cricketers with my name. There is a politician in my name. There are actors in my name. There are musicians in my name. Yes or no? Yes or no? So whenever it comes to politics, there is a separate person. There is a idiotic person in my name. Whenever it comes to Indian team, so then that Rahul is different. Whenever it comes to your Java classes, so your I'll be the Rahul person here. So based on the purpose where you are using, so the member changes over there. So this is called as polymorphism. So based on the type of object you are creating, based on the type of object you are creating, the type of member called is different. If you want Indian team, so KL Rahul will come. So if you want Congress, so Rahul Gandhi will come. If you want singers, so there is a separate singer. If you want to learn Java, so then this Rahul sir will come. So requirement, based on the requirement, compiler will match. for which purpose the object is getting created. So if it is matching, then that object gets created. Understood the definition of polymorphism? Understood the definition of polymorphism? So, and if I want to say constructor overloading, inside the class, if I have more than one constructor with the more than one constructor, then that is called as constructor overloading. Okay. So you guys might be getting this doubt of this dot id is equals to id, this dot name is equals to name, this dot age is equal to age. So are you guys having this doubt? So how this is working? Shall I explain the working of this keyword? So carefully, easy. It's very easy. Okay, it's damn easy. Okay, so this is my particular class, and let me also have this driver class. Okay. So I'll have both the buddies. I slightly increase the size. I'll also increase the size. I'll also increase the size. Okay. So here I have the student class as well as the student driver class. Okay. Student driver class. Fine. So the working of your this keyword is the working of your this keyword is it is a very yeah. So the work of your this keyword is I have not connected this. So here here I am creating a object. Here I am creating an object, and in this object, so let me say this is student one object. Okay, I am calling this as student one object. So here, how many variables are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here first step, I shall increase the size, so it will be easy for me to explain. Let me copy it, paste it, paste it, paste it. So whenever your object is created, four four values are loaded into your object. Yes or no? So as there are four attributes, four doubles will be added. Yes or no? Everyone agrees with this? So how many attributes are there in the class? There are four attributes. So that is why four doubles are getting added. So here, what are the names? What are the names? So first one is I have ID, I have name, I have age, and I have percentage. Yes or no? Yes or no? So by default, the values are default values. Okay. So here I am passing the ID value, I am passing the name, and I am passing the age, and I am passing the percentage. So this particular values, whatever it is there, these particular values, whatever it is there, these will be matched with these values. Okay. The constructor will be matched with the values. Okay. So, so whenever you are creating the object inside the constructor, okay, inside the constructor, in the value here, what is the value getting substituted? Value 101 is assigned here. Next, value Mary is assigned. Age 25 is assigned. Next, percentage 85.0 is assigned. Yes or no? Yes or no? So, so these values, okay, these values, whatever are there, these values, whatever are there, these are a Xerox copy of the global variables. Got it? Got it? These values, whatever we are writing after the equals, these are the copy of the global variables. Whatever this dot ID, this dot percentage, this dot name, these are referring to these members. This refers to the objects variables. This refers to current object. What is the work of this? This refers to the current object. So that is why what happens, whatever the values you are passing will be assigned here. So ID 101 will be supplied here. Name, your name. Mary will be supplied here. Age, age, Kalba. Age 25 is assigned here. And finally, 85.0 gets assigned. Understood? So, using this, what happens? A global, a global members are made local to the object. Local to the object. Or one Xerox copy is passed to the object. Understood? Understood the usage of this. Understood the usage of this. Shall I go with the next doubt you people have? Shall I go with the next doubt you people have? Okay, the next common doubt which 3 to 4 people asked me was, sir, Sir, what is the difference between default constructor and no argument constructor? Okay. So default constructor is default constructor is added by the compiler implicitly. Default constructor is a implicit process. Keep this point in the mind. Default constructor is added by whom? By the compiler implicitly, whereas no args constructor is added by the programmer explicitly. See, explicitly. This is the difference. This is the difference. Got the difference? Default constructor is added by the compiler. See, as a programmer, I don't have a no argument constructor or a parameterized constructor in the whole class. Whenever we are forgetting to add the constructor, your compiler adds the constructor at the compile time. So then it is called as a default constructor. Whenever as a programmer, you are explicitly mentioning this is called as a no argument constructor. Got the difference? Got the difference? People, got the difference? Okay. Okay. So this was your topics for the day. Okay. I hope so you have understood all the topics which I have understood, sorry, which I have explained. Assignment for the day. Listen here. Assignment for the day. Carefully listen. I have explained you for one or two objects. You have to consider 5 different objects. How many objects? You have to consider 5 different objects. And inside the class, there should be a single line initializer. Where is this? Now, there should, when the class is compiled, when the class is compiled, your compiler adds, okay? So you have to consider 5 different objects. You have to create a single line initializer, variables, overload the constructor, and one display method. Okay. And you have to create objects for all the types of constructors which you have declared in the class. If you have declared 3 constructors, 3 variety of objects has to be created inside the class, in the driver class. Okay. For 5 objects, overload your classes by the compilers, overload your compilers, and try executing your classes. Understood your assignment? Understood your assignment? Okay, buddies. So this was your topics for the day.